It's your chance to be ruthless.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be...
Okay, so you know how some celebs really just have a look? Like it's so recognizable.
Right.
Today we're diving deep into the beauty practices of one such person, Ariana Grande.
Oh, good one.
We've gathered tons of info from the different sources to try and understand what makes her beauty regimen work so well.
Yeah.
Like, how does she keep her skin looking so flawless? And then, you know, how does she nail that super iconic cat eye?
Exactly.
Like her signature.
Yeah, Ariana Grande, I think, is a really fascinating case study when you think about beauty and her career trajectory. Because, you know, she got her start on Broadway.
Was 13?
Yeah,
remember that?
at 13. And then became this, like, really familiar face on Nickelodeon in Victorious.
Right.
And kind of as her music career exploded, I mean, she's had, 6 critically acclaimed albums at this point?
It's crazy.
As that kind of took off, I feel like her personal style really started to solidify, and her beauty choices became just as talked about as her voice.
Absolutely.
Which is incredible.
And it seems like it's more than just a carefully crafted image.
Yeah.
It feels like she's really genuinely passionate about beauty.
Really, yeah.
Like she even launched her own beauty line, REM Beauty.
Oh, exactly.
So it's obviously something she's super into.
Yeah.
So our deep dive today is all about going kind of under the surface of her approach to beauty and trying to figure out what makes it so distinctly Ariana.
Yeah, so let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's start with skincare.
Okay.
Because that's the foundation of any great makeup look.
Totally.
What's interesting about Ariana Grande skincare is that on the surface, it appears very simple.
Yeah, it seems pretty streamlined.
Yeah, it's all about simplicity and effectiveness. So it makes you wonder why in a world of endless products and 10-step routines.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Why this is her approach.
Right, and from what we've seen, cleansing is a super key step for her.
Yeah.
And she reportedly uses a gentle scrub, which makes sense, right?
Total sense.
You want to start with a fresh canvas before you put anything else on.
Exactly.
And that exfoliation can really help to keep things clear and prevent blemishes.
It's a good fundamental step.
Totally.
So she cleanses, and then she incorporates the Sarah Ford BioCell Oxygen Serum.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So these types of serums, they really focus on delivering oxygen to the skin.
Okay.
Which is, I think, kind of an interesting concept. The idea is that, increased oxygen can then support cell turnover.
Okay.
And contribute to that healthy glow that we often see.
Makes sense.
It does make you kind of wonder, how significant that oxygen delivery actually is.
Yeah.
At a topical level.
Yeah.
But the popularity of these products suggests that people find them beneficial.
That's true. Yeah.
There's a reason why they're so buzzy.
Right, exactly. So cleanse, oxygenating serum, what else? What's next in this kind of concise routine?
So after that, it seems like hydration is non-negotiable.
Okay, yeah, moisturizing is key for sure.
So important for maintaining that skin barrier, keeping everything supple, and kind of sealing in the benefits of that serum.
Right.
Creating that really smooth surface for makeup application.
It's all about the base.
It is all about the base.
Yeah.
And you actually touched on something super important earlier.
Oh, did I?
You did. Consistency.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's less about any one magic product and more about that cumulative effect of these, fairly simple steps performed regularly. And that probably contributes a lot to her consistently clear complexion.
That's a good point.
It makes you kind of think about our own routines and whether we're focusing enough on those fundamentals.
It really does.
Yeah.
So it's basically a very straightforward cleanse, that oxygen-focused serum, and then dedicated moisturizer.
Hair dryer.
Yeah. It's a routine that feels achievable.
It does.
Okay. Let's shift gears a little bit to something that's instantly recognizable when you think about Ariana Grande. That signature cat eye.
Yes. Yeah.
When did this look really become such a defining part of her aesthetic?
The cat eye has definitely become like synonymous with her over time.
Yeah, for sure.
What I think is really cool is that you can trace it pretty directly back to beauty trends of the 1960s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, think about like the very iconic eyeliner looks of that era.
Yeah.
Like bold winged liner.
Is a statement.
Huge statement. And it's interesting to see how historical beauty trends are constantly being kind of reinterpreted and brought into the modern day.
Totally. It's like that timeless quality, but with a contemporary edge.
Exactly.
And luckily for those of us who admire that look,
Yeah.
she's actually given us a glimpse into her method.
She has.
I remember seeing something about her Vogue Beauty Secrets video.
Yeah, yes.
Didn't she kind of break it down?
Yeah, so in that tutorial, she walks through her technique.
Okay.
And what stands out is that she starts with a light eyeshadow base.
Okay.
Which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It creates a smoother, more even surface for the eyeliner to glide on.
Makes sense.
And then for that like crucial wing, she uses a pencil eyeliner.
Oh, interesting.
Which is kind of a surprise.
Yeah.
You would assume liquid, right?
You'd think for that super defined sharp line.
Exactly.
Interesting. So using a pencil probably gives her a little bit more control.
Probably, yeah.
In shaping that perfect wing.
Exactly.
Okay, so how does she typically balance this like very bold eye look
Right.
with the rest of her makeup?
So generally, she pairs that striking cat eye with a more subtle lip.
Okay.
Often opting for like nude tones, which makes sense because it lets the eyes really be the focus.
Right.
And then, of course, it all sits on top of what appears to be, incredibly smooth skin.
Right.
Which again goes back to that consistent skincare.
It's that base.
It's all connected.
So if you're listening to this and thinking like, okay, I need to know exactly how she does this, where should our listeners go to dive deeper?
Well, as we mentioned, that Vogue Beauty Secrets video is an amazing resource.
Yeah.
Because it provides that visual element, right?
Yeah.
Like you see her actual technique, you hear her personal tips.
It's so helpful.
And that firsthand perspective can be really, really useful.
Absolutely. Watching someone do it can clarify things in a way that reading about it just can't.
For sure.
So what other avenues are out there for learning more?
Well, her own beauty line, REM Beauty, I think is a logical next step.
Oh, yeah.
Because, it stands to reason that the products she's developing are things that she actually uses and trusts.
Right.
So if you're trying to really emulate her look, her brand would be like a direct source for potentially key products.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
And it kind of streamlines the whole process of like what to buy and what to use.
Yeah, it takes the guesswork out.
And of course, in the age that we live in,
right,
social media probably plays a big role too.
Oh, huge.
For fans who want to learn more.
Yeah. Platforms like Instagram and YouTube are full of tutorials and reviews centered around her beauty techniques and her REM beauty products.
Yeah.
You can find so many creators sharing their own interpretations and experiences, offering, a range of different perspectives.
Right. So many different ways to do it.
It's really become like a hub for beauty enthusiasts.
That's awesome.
Oh.
Okay. So we've covered like the what and the how to a good extent. Now let's consider the why.
Okay.
What makes Ariana Grande's beauty routine, like this kind of combination of a seemingly simple skincare approach with this very specific, very glamorous makeup look?
Right.
What makes that so influential?
I think what's really compelling about it is the intersection of attainability and aspiration.
Okay, I like that.
Because her focus on that foundational skincare makes it feel like something that a lot of people can incorporate into their own lives.
Yeah, it's not like crazy expensive.
Yeah.
Like not everyone can afford $1,000 face cream.
Right, exactly. It's not about inaccessible or ultra-luxe treatments.
Yeah.
But then you contrast that with the very glamorous cat eye, which, is very high fashion.
Yeah.
So you have these two things existing at the same time.
It's a cool duality.
It is.
I think that idea of attainability is really important.
Absolutely.
It doesn't feel like totally out of reach for the average person.
Yeah.
And as you said earlier, her really prioritizing skincare as the base is a really good message to send.
So important.
Because it shifts the focus from just covering things up to actually taking care of your skin.
It's about nurturing.
Yeah, exactly. And by being so open about her routine, she's really demystifying the process.
Totally.
Yeah. It encourages people to engage with their own beauty practices in a more conscious way.
Exactly.
And to experiment and find what works for them.
Exactly.
So it's like empowering in a way. So when you kind of piece it all together, Ariana Grande's approach to beauty seems to be a really genuine extension of her personal style, which I think has that blend of like strength and a certain sweetness.
Yeah.
And then obviously a commitment to self-care.
For sure.
Through those consistent skincare habits.
I think that's a really insightful way to put it.
Thanks.
And, you know, that approachable yet effective routine, paired with that instantly recognizable cat eye, has really resonated with a lot of people.
For sure.
And continues to be, you know, a source of inspiration in the beauty world.
Totally. It makes you think, right?
Yeah.
About how the beauty choices of public figures like Ariana Grande can really give us insights into broader cultural conversation.
That's true.
About self-care and what we consider beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, what is her emphasis on a relatively simple skincare regimen alongside a bold classic makeup look really say about what we value in beauty today?
That's the question.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about long after our deep dive concludes.
Absolutely.
Thanks for exploring this with us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
This was fun.
It was.
If you loved this deep dive, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes stories of your favorite influencers. Drop a comment below who should we cover next. Stay curious, and see you next time.
Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget.